handsome. It's July 7th, 2021, and we just watched AEW not quite Dynamite, the Road Rager. Oh, and it's Wednesday night. And welcome to Dave and Jay's Powerbomb, where we thank all 166 of our subscribers. But we don't call you subscribers. You're our young boys, and we're on a campaign for 1,000 young boys. So please
subscribe, please. All right, fresh off the starting match, you got the big South Beach strap match. Cody Rhodes versus QT Marshall. Cody Rhodes looking alarmingly like Homelander from The Boys on Amazon Prime. It's friggin' scary. And the objective of this match is you're strapped to the other guy, you beat him with a strap, you gotta touch all 4 turnbuckles in order without some delay in between. And there's a fast start from Cody. He really hates QT Marshall. QT really hates nepotism. And Dustin has to get involved because QT's got his factory boys out there with him. He's got to wrestle him outside the ring. And like, QT's almost got the match won. He's touching the corners, dragging Cody. But Cody's touching that corner right after QT touches it, and QT can't see it, Jay.
It's a great strategy for team nepotism. You know, it's fantastic. It's like copying. It's just like, oh, I'm just going to follow QT around. And sure, it may have seemed like genius, but you know what? It probably was, because QT is dumb as fuck still.
He is. And then QT gets busted open. I think Cody rams him into that post outside the ring using that strap. And then QT gets busted open and the lights go out. And we're like, oh, we're having some power shortages here out in Jacksonville. Whoa, what's that? Oh, lights are on. We can wrestle again.
That really screwed with the green screen, I bet you.
Cody hits the Cody cutter from the top rope. And then he hits a low blow on the QT Marshall, which enables him to hit the crossroads not once, not twice, but thrice.
Giving him 3 times. This point where he gives him the opportunity to go from corner to corner to corner.
Yeah, he just hits all those turnbuckles after. It's pretty easy. Cody Rhodes paving the way for a nepotistic America.
Yeah, I jumped up and then I realized I just jumped up for team nepotism.
Yeah, nepotism hurts us all. All right, and then we have backstage words from Shawn Spears talking about how he hit Sammy with the chair last week. But then out of nowhere, Sammy hit Shawn Spears with a chair. I like it.
We always are about the free Sammy movement. And that was very freeing for Sammy's fans.
That's right. And then we're blessed with an in-ring interview with the one and only AEW World Champion Kenny Omega with Uncle Don Callis. And they're being interviewed by Tony Schiavone. And it's unfortunate I have to break the news to you guys, but Don Callis was fired as the EVP for Dynamite Wrestling a few weeks ago.
Some people are just bigger dreamers.
Yeah, Tommy Dreamer took his job. That's awful. So they're saying that Kenny's saying there's no one left to beat on AEW. He's pinned them all.
There isn't, though. All. When you look at the roster, like who's going to come out? Homelander?
Homelander can't challenge for the AEW World Championship ever again. It was his stipulation against Jericho. And then he's interrupted, though, by Dark Order and Evil Uno. Evil Uno's got the talking stick. And then Kenny's Evil Uno's talking about there is a challenger left. Why you ducking Hangman, right?
Cowboy shit.
Yeah.
Cowboy shit.
Woo-hoo.
Cowboy shit.
Then Omega's heard enough. He low blows Evil Uno. And then the Bullet Club get in there and start brawling with the Dark Order. But then Hangman's not out there yet, but he runs in for the save, takes out the Bullet Club. He's lining up for the buckshot, but then Kenny's able to stop him. Him and Hangman have an intense stare down. And then they have a stare down.
That was a weird one.
Yeah. And then we have an interview with JR, I guess done earlier tonight. And it's with Darby, Allin, and Ethan Page. And it's weird, because they're sitting there across from each other with good old JR between them. Like, these two men, like, don't they hate each other? Like, shouldn't they just, like, oh, I can't sit across from you. But Ethan Page, he's making some bold claims. He's saying he made Darby Allin Darby Allin would be nothing without Ethan Page. He'd just be another kid with face paint on the indies. And then they're having that coffin match next week. First time in AEW history.
Yeah.
Good old-fashioned coffin match.
Ethan Page rose from Stony Creek, came over to Hamilton, Ontario, and he has a nerve.
Stony Creek is in Hamilton.
I know, it's like, you know, we're trashy, kind of, you know, where the bored rich kids come from and stab each other. That's where Ethan Page is really from.
Yeah, he's one of the outsiders or something.
Yeah, you know,
Socius.
you're not even really
He's
from
socius.
Hamilton. He's a wannabe Hamiltonian.
No, he's not. He's from
he's-
Hamilton. He has
he
the
says
decency to
he
actually
says
admit he's from Hamilton. It says, from Hamilton, Ontario, Ethan Page. Like, I gotta respect
he
that.
can't
He could have
do
turned
that.
his back on Hamilton like
No,
anyone
he
else
was
would have.
first
I would have
coming
turned my
out.
back on
He was
Hamilton.
coming out as Stony Creek. What
No,
he
he
really
wasn't.
is,
Are you
man.
serious?
You're not even.
Don't listen to him, Ethan.
Ethan. You're a joke.
Don't give up on the city.
You know what? I
Don't
challenge you
be like
to
Jay.
an East End strap match. Oh, what have I just done?
I'll be special guest referee for that one.
Okay.
All right, so then, that segment's done. So then it's a trios match. We got those FTR scumbags and Wardlow representing the Pinnacle with Tully Anderson, and they're fighting Santana Ortiz and Jake Hager, who are representing the Inner Circle, and they got Konnan out there with them. Konnan's looking like shit. All right, and then
I still look at this as like cartel Konnan and Tully, the white guy that likes to get the cocaine distributed.
yeah, Tully's like the public relations guy for the cartel. He's the salesman, and Konnan just makes the shit. And then
It's like Don Cal's only reason he's here. He's because he has the candy. What were you mentioning? What were you saying, JR? Like, what were you really saying?
I don't know, man. Maybe he helps
Is there-
the boys
is there-
out with their pain
is-
problems
is there-
backstage,
Is
right?
there a new scandal we have to reveal?
I don't know, as long as it's not an AEW Young Boy scandal. Hook has wood. Alright, so then they're going back and forth. This wasn't really too special of a match, to be honest. Then there's a point in the match where Hager, he wants some Wardlow. It's enough.
And everybody in the crowd wants it. 'cause
Yeah,
man,
big
it's
crowd tonight. There's no
crazy
social
fans.
distancing. Like, it's back, man. Like, I guess you get that shot, you're good to go. World's your oyster.
I've got two of them.
That's-
Double Viagra came out with two hard-ons. Don't ask
Yuck,
how.
I don't even want to know. All right, so then what happens? Some weird shit happens. Tully does some type of weird interference, which allows the Pinnacle to get the win somehow. Didn't like seeing that. And then post match, Konnan has those baseballs wrapped in that sock. Tries to hit Wardlow in the back, doesn't even phase him.
But
And
back in the day, it would knock the shit out of people like Diesel and stuff. I'm like,
Konnan hasn't taken care of himself, I guess. And
must
then,
be tough being the cartel leader.
well, I mean, he clearly lost a step because he let that old geezer Tully Anderson creep up behind him to chop block, right? And that took Konnan right out of the equation.
I keep just
And-
wondering, I'm like, when am I crossing over the borderline of cancel culture and us and the shit I say here?
Well, it wasn't a very special match.
Okay, that's acceptable.
But next week, this is a match you're going to like, Jay. It's going to be Machine Gun Karl Anderson going up against IWGP United States Champion Jon Moxley. And they're having a match for that title next week. I believe it's the first night of Fyter Fest. It's going down.
I'm putting all my money on Machine Gun Man.
You mean
Bullet Club.
these guns? Oh! Alright, and then we got a big segment. It's the big standoff between MJF and Chris Jericho, Le Champion. And they're doing a Judas sing-along. MJF needs that heat. He cuts the sing-along off. It's like, enough is enough. However, Jay, MJF almost gets attacked by a fan. And then I think Jericho went in on the fan. They didn't really cover it too much because I know wrestling doesn't like to bring prevalence to shit like that.
But don't worry.
But it was a crazed fan who hopped the barricade.
We did say it at Dave and J's Powerbomb.
We're gonna get
It's truth, man.
Yeah, we're gonna get a pic of it because it was quick, but we're gonna get it. And then Jericho's saying that he's having sex with MJF's mother again and again.
That's what we do here at Dave and J's Powerbomb.
Have sex with MJF's mother.
Yeah. Now you have to subscribe. We need more young boys.
And then MJF is like talking some weird Greek philosophy. I didn't particularly care for it, but basically the gist of it is that Jericho must beat every member of the Pinnacle in order to get a match against MJF. So Jericho agreed. I guess in order for Moxley to get the title match against Jericho when Jericho was AEW champion, Moxley had to go through every member of the Inner Circle. So MJF's making Jericho do that. They signed a contract, and then MJF's like, "You gotta shake my hand, Jericho," and Jericho shakes his hand, and then turns it into a Judas effect. It was pretty wild. I liked it. It was cunning.
It was great to see MJF just laid out.
Yeah, we really enjoyed it.
Yeah, we love you, MJF, but we really hate you.
Exactly. And then we have backstage interview. Tony Schiavone interviewing his best friend, Britt Baker. She's got Reba Not Rebel with her. And Reba injured her knee last week in the Freak Clown Show match against Nyla and Vicky. And she's mad at Nyla and Vicky for that. And I guess they're having a match. I don't know. Is it next week? Title match? Nyla and Britt? I don't know if it's next week or not.
No, we'll cover it when we get to it, man.
We'll cover it when we get to it.
You didn't hear it here.
So then we have the much anticipated debut match, Andrade El Idolo. So it's Matt Sydal versus Andrade El Idolo. First match in AEW. He used to work in another company.
Would you, if you're a Latin American man, who would you look up to right now?
If I was a Latin American man, my hero would obviously be Andrade El Idolo. He has class, integrity. He dresses like a drug dealer or the Prime Minister of El Salvador. It's great. All right. And they're going back and forth. Idolo's got this one move where he does a top rope moonsault. Buddy moves out of the way, but then he does a standing moonsault and hits Buddy. It's pretty innovative. But at the end of the day, Andrade El Idolo, he's got his finishing move. It's the hammerlock DDT, where he just drills the guy, got him in the hammerlock. They're calling it the El Idolo. And then after the match, he's not done with Sydal yet. He's got to make a statement. He puts him in like a submission armbar. And we should talk about his ring attire, like before we end this. He's got a suit on and everything, and he's wearing his suit pants, and he just takes his jacket off and unbuttons his dress shirt.
Gangster style pinstripe.
Yeah, he should run for Prime Minister.
Send in a message to the fucking locker room there,
man. Exactly. Run for Prime Minister of a Latin American country. You can do it.
Don't. Just become a dictator.
Wrestling is just the tip of the iceberg for you, El Idolo. Alright, and then what do we got? Oh yeah, got a little vignette. It's going to be a big match next week. Christian Cage versus Matt Hardy. 23 years in the making. Matt Hardy's still bent about that handshake deal they had at the Casino Battle Royal at the pay-per-view Double or Nothing. Matt Hardy's like, a handshake's a handshake, you violated it. And Christian's just like, oh, I don't trust you, man. Snake oil merchant.
Truth.
Yeah. Then we got a big in-ring interview with the perpetuator of nepotism himself, Double A Arnderson. He's talking, I don't even know what he's talking about. The lights go out again. They got these, it's hot in Miami. You got these power outages and shit, right?
He was getting scared, and he was like, man, I hope my nepotism isn't threatened.
Well, we got someone else standing up for anti-nepotism. He went by the name of Aleister Black in other company. He was let go because Vince likes to ruin a lot of lives over there. And he kicks Arn right in the face. Like, roundhouse kick. In other company, he called it the Black Mass. And then Cody comes in, and he gets kicked in the face.
So much for being a tough one, Homelander.
I guess they're saying that Aleister Black's real name, like I guess his government name, is Tommy End. But now they're calling him Malakai Black. That kick is pretty devastating. I'm glad he's going up against the nepotistic nature of these guys because it's not fair to like people who aren't third generation wrestlers, and there's not a lot of people like who are third generation wrestlers. There's more of us than there are of you.
Yeah, this is why we have to do YouTube. We couldn't get onto wrestling because of nepotism.
That's right, Jay.
So please subscribe.
Please subscribe.
We need more young boys. 166 isn't enough.
All right. Then earlier tonight, we had words from Ricky Starks regarding his situation with Brian Cage. They're having the FTW title match next week. Fakest title in wrestling. Taz is getting embarrassed by Ricky's behavior. Ricky's got security out there. And then Ricky Starks says, which I found very surprising that Ricky Starks would say this. He says, I'm going to change the name of the FTW title to the FT Wife title. Fuck the wife title, Jay. Ricky Starks is going to go heel and fuck Brian Cage's wife.
But aren't they already heel?
Yeah, they are heel. Yes. All right. And then Brian Cage had enough. He comes out. He attacks the security. Ricky Starks is barely able to get away. Hook Taz is confused enough. He's like, oh my God.
Like, God, Mommy, Daddy, stop fighting. So what does that really say?
I don't know.
No.
What I do know is we got a big intergender tag match coming up right now. Got the Bunny and the Blade versus Chris Statlander and Orange Cassidy.
Double yes.
And before the bell, Aubrey Edwards, adamant professional, she finds Brass Knuckles on the Blade right away. Takes him. It's like, you can't, these are illegal in wrestling. Oh, I didn't know they were in there. Just the Bunny was doing stuff to me and left those in there.
What? What was in the prison pocket? Was it like a, getting in there like a kangaroo and stuff pouch you got there? I don't know.
I have no idea.
Prison pockets.
But then they're having a match. They're going back and forth. Big spot near the end. Chris Statlander hits a 450 splash off the top rope. It's pretty impressive. She hits it on the Blade, and then the pin is broken up by the Bunny, and then they got another pair of Brass Knuckles guys. It wasn't fair. The Blade's able to hit the Brass Knuckles on Orange Cassidy as he's going up for the Orange Punch. However, Statlander with the high IQ play, I think she's able to push the Blade into Bunny from behind, so the Blade's out of the ring, and then she hits the Big Bang Theory. Big Bangs the Bunny, if you will, for the pin and the win.
Did that happen again?
We did that headline like 2 weeks ago or something, but it happened again. Then we have a little segment from earlier today. It is Jungle Boy, and they give him a 50th win trophy because he's the first wrestler in AEW history to have 50 wins. An imaginary brass ring, if you will.
It's kind of a historic thing for AEW, so they can have their it won't just be the Hall of Fame, though, like AEW Wrestling Hall of Fame.
Yeah,
and Jungle Boy will be inducted there as the first one to hit 50.
It's
a significant thing. It's not just any ordinary brass ring that other company and McChicken, whatever his name is, stuff, eat a dick, other company. You should just go hump a dick, and before it's over.
TikTok, Jay.
It's over.
You're gonna put us in AEW's Hall of Shame. All right,
and then sure
this is where the show kind of takes a turn. Like, it's kind of weird. So we got this guy. I guess he's this fight promoter, Dan Lambert, and he's got the BMF champion. I don't know his name, and some other woman fighter named Amanda Nunes. Okay. And yeah, so I put some guy from audience grabs a microphone and interrupts show, and he just starts going crazy, like, you guys don't know wrestling. I put on my old VHSs from the Road Warriors in the 70s and Rick Rude in the 80s, and then I got stopped when I get to the mid-90s. And Tony Khan told me it was going to be good, but it's not. And this guy just kept going. It's like, holy shit.
He was good at getting the audience fired up.
Yeah, he got me fired up. I got my headband on and shit.
It is, man.
And so his name's Dan Lambert. And Murdoch's heard enough. Thank God. He just tunes that guy, gets him up there for the blackout, plants him, saved wrestling, saved my night. Love you, Murderhawk.
I bet you when he was approached to do this, I'm like, do you want to get blackout by Murderhawk? He was probably like, dude, yeah, I'll do this. Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. I bet you was totally stoked to do this.
Yeah, that guy was on one too many cuckoo puffs. Got him from Tully. Alright, and this leads us in to our main event, Street Fight. AEW Tag Team Championship is on the line. Street Fight match. Penta El Zero Miedo and Eddie Kingston. How does he keep getting title shots versus the Young Bucks? With Don Callis doing color commentary, which is great with me, Jay.
The Candy Man.
Why do they call him that? Tully's the Candy Man. Alright, so then trash can shot early by Kingston to one of the Bucks. dirty pool as far as I'm concerned. The action's hot and fast. They accidentally super kick Michael Nakazawa. And then...
you know what? It was, the yin and yang of the thing, because he also got the headband.
Got the headband. Woo. That's right. Cutler gets cornered by the scumbags outside the ring, which gives the advantage to the Bucks, but not for very long, because there's a top rope chair stomp to one of the Young Bucks' balls.
Nice.
Not if you're the Bucks. However, this is the spot of the night, I think, that we can both agree on. Penta El Zero Miedo to Matt Jackson delivers an off-the-apron Canadian Destroyer through a table to the outside of the ring.
Definitely made, that whole thing, you made that the match of the night.
I thought they were dead. It's probably going to be our thumbnail.
Yes.
All right. And then, those guys are dead for a bit. So the guys that are in the ring, one of the Young Bucks delivers a swanton dive onto one guy with the crash can on top of him, which is pretty cool. And then Eddie Kingston, oh my god, he's like, I'm a lazy wrestler, I gotta take a break, I'm gonna put one of the Bucks in the sleeper. He's thinking he's gonna win the title with a sleeper. So the other Buck gets on the top rope and he delivers a 450 splash, not onto Kingston to break up the hold. Big brain play. You can't get DQ'd in a street fight. 450 splash is the referee. Remember that, kids.
Fucking awesome.
You want to make it in wrestling, know how to knock out a ref and learn how to blade yourself. It's the only two things you need to know.
Things you weren't expecting tonight. Were you expecting that?
No, I was not.
Nice.
Were you expecting this?
No, man.
All right.
That's beefy.
That was awesome.
That's beefy. That's beefy.
Going strong.
All
right.
We're like strong here.
Good Brothers come out to help after that. Then Kazarian comes out. They're calling him the Elite Hunter. He powerbombs Cutler through the table. He's cold spraying the whole time while he's up getting powerbombed.
Yeah, he was looking like he was getting rocket ship powerbombed.
And then...
Excellent.
Kingston and Penta El Zero Miedo hit their finishing move. I think it's that suplex, German suplex combo. And they pin him, but there's no ref. They forgot that the referee was knocked out. Yeah. So it's a near fall because another ref comes in there, but Buddy's able to get the ref out of there because no ref. And then
Good brain plays.
You got to shut down Kazarian. The Good Brothers hit the Magic Killer to him outside the ring. That takes him out of the equation. But then Thumbtacks get introduced. That scumbag Eddie Kingston's got a bag of tacks. It's like throws it all over the ground. It's dangerous. But then the Bucks, they throw the tacks into those guys' eyes. That's a smart play. Throwing tacks into someone's eyes. Get their vision. They can't see stuff, man. There's going to make them more susceptible,
it's
right?
like there's a smarter team out there.
Yeah, like from the mean streets of Rancho Cucamonga. And then...
Where your dad builds your wrestling match in the backyard, which makes it just so much hotter than you guys.
They didn't always have it so easy, right? All right. And then top rope Hurricanrana into the tacks on the ground of the ring. But then to end it, we got to shut Eddie Kingston up. We got to shove some tacks into his mouth. Then got to super kick his face, and he's got to spit the tacks out, and then you can pin the guy. And I think that's it. I think we're gonna call this a power bomb.
I just want more